Well, hello there. It's time for another episode of Hearing Him First, which is a collection of short videos that are designed to help you hear God's voice first, to hear it the loudest, to hear it the clearest throughout the day. So whenever you're watching this, whether that's early in the morning or later in the afternoon or in the evening, that's my hope, that's my prayer, is that this little video and others like it would help you hear Him first. That's also the name of a YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and you just search for Hearing Him First, it comes up and you can like that, you can subscribe to that, you can catch all the videos there. This is number 38, so there's quite a collection. Some of them are sorted into playlists and things like that to help you maybe dive deep on a topic like prayer or your identity in Christ. So check that out if you get a chance. Also a great way to share this content with others if you think it would be helpful to them. But today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite psalms, Psalm 96. It's a psalm of praise that really seems to articulate or capture some of my favorite phrases when it comes to God and to worshiping God in spirit and in truth, as Jesus talked about. So I'm going to look and kind of focus on verse 4 through 6 first, and then we'll look a little bit at verse 9 as well. But verses 4 through 6 say, "For great is the Lord and most worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Splendor and majesty are before him. Strength and glory are in his sanctuary." And as I mentioned before, this has been a favorite psalm of mine for some time. And this is a favorite passage within it. The idea that we can choose to either worship the Lord or worship worthless idols seems like a pretty clear choice. Are we going to worship these worthless idols that are made by human hands, or are we going to worship the Lord, the maker of heaven and of earth? It seems like an obvious choice, and yet I find and I observe in others that there's a strong pull to worship the created, to worship created things, especially ourselves. Like, we were created by God, and yet if we're not careful, we put ourselves on the throne of our own life. Or we worship things that we have created, either individually or corporately as a group of people. And we have this pull or this struggle or this temptation to worship the created things over and instead of the splendor, the majesty, the strength, and the glory that this passage talks about of the Creator, who is great and who is worthy of all praise. And so when we do truly and consistently worship the Creator, like when we make that our focus, we make that our goal, we set out to hear Him first, we set out to trust and obey and to follow Him and to learn from Jesus the ways that we are to live and to move in this world. When we do that, when we worship the Creator rather than created things, we can worship before Him in the splendor of His holiness. That's verse 9, and that's probably my favorite phrase in this psalm, because this idea that nothing in all of creation offers us the opportunity to worship forever in the splendor of God's holiness. Only God invites us into that. And we have to understand a little bit about holiness. That word literally means to be set apart. And so we have the opportunity, when we choose to prioritize worshiping the God of the universe, to worship Him and Him alone, not the created things, not ourselves or the things that we have created. When we do this, it gives us the opportunity to worship God in the splendor of His holiness, His set apartness. And we get to be brought into that. We get to be brought into the set apartness of God, that God is set apart from creation in His holiness, and He invites us to be set apart from the rest of creation by choosing holiness, by choosing to worship Him and to worship Him alone. And so that's just a devotional thought to kind of carry you into the next 24 hours, 48 hours, to help you hear God first, to ask yourself, am I worshiping created things? Am I worshiping myself? Am I worshiping things that I have made or that man has made? or even worshiping things that God has made in place of God. And so my prayer today is that we would choose to hear him first, that we would choose to worship him and him alone, and that we would worship our Creator, not our created things. And so if this has been encouraging to you, I hope you'll share it. You can comment below. Let me know what you think. If you have questions, comment, let me know. You can send emails to hearinghimfirst@gmail.com, or you can comment on any of the videos. You can even tag a friend that you want to be able to see this, or share the video with somebody to encourage them. But God bless you. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you again very, very soon.